Wayne Jones Jr. Because Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams deals, now suddenly you can't run on the Cowboys. The Micah Parsons trade, well, didn't have much of an effect. They're still top 3 in quarterback rushes. The George Pickens move, I mean, that's one of the heists. Poor Steelers can't throw the ball down the field. George Pickens, 3rd in the NFL in touchdowns. DeMarvion Overshown, that dude was great at Texas with the Longhorns. He is healthy. He is super athletic. 2 first-round picks. They're going to get an edge to replace Micah, probably a corner. I don't know. The offense works, man. Number 1 in the league in total offense, number 1 in passing, number 4 in scoring. It works. And because of Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, you can't cheat on the run game. So the Cowboys are running the ball now better than they have since Zeke in 2019. Now, the O-line is hot and cold. Better run blocking than pass blocking. But statistically, I know they're only 5-5-1. I know they're playing Kansas City, and it may not turn out well. But I would rather be Dallas today and have the offense figured out than be the Steelers for the 5th year in a row paying a fortune for a defense that can't stop anybody. You can say what you want about Dallas. 2 first-round picks. Overshown's healthy. George Pickens, heist. A real run game for the first time in forever. And say this for Jerry or Gerald Wayne Jones Sr. He has always been 100% committed to Dak. He has said he's the best leader I've ever had. And yesterday, that unflappable leadership, trailing 21-0, throwing, he can throw a red zone pick. Doesn't matter. It's Dak. It's just noise. A lot of that win was Dak. And Jerry said Dak was indispensable. Micah was great, but he was tradable. And guess what? The Cowboys are still getting a pass rush. The Cowboys defense right now is better than it was last year. And with Micah, it is. You can't run on them now with Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams. Yeah, I have questions about Shoddy. I didn't think it was the strongest hire. I thought they should have gone heavy into Mike Vrabel or the year before into Jim Harbaugh or Sean Payton, and they didn't. And Jerry doesn't necessarily want to pay coaches big money, but I'll say this for Shoddy. When teams play hard and don't quit, it's something.
Yeah, it really is funny to see, Cole. You know what it reminds me of? When you're watching a football game, as we all have, and the announcers do this, when the team that's winning is up just like 14-7, 17-7 or something, they're just like, oh, see, this is what's so good about this team. They're just so difficult to stop. Once they have the run game going, they are just so difficult to stop. And now what this really does is this unleashes that elite pass rush, Jim. That's what happens in this game. This is what they do. And then when the other team comes back, they're like, see, this is what happens. They always leave the door open. This is what this team struggles to do. They can never quite close the door shut. And now that the other team is now driving, you're like, this team is just so difficult to keep down. This is what they do. This is what makes them so difficult to beat. And you're just like, okay, so when one team's doing good, you're like, this team's amazing. When the other team's doing good, you're like, this team's amazing. And like, it's just whichever way the momentum is going, and that's what this reminds me of right now, honestly, because it was so doom and gloom on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys going into this season, and it never really made a whole lot of sense. To me, I didn't love the Schottenheimer hire. Weirdly enough, I believed more in the defense, that it wasn't that in terms of coaching. But I always knew that that Dak and Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, et cetera, that offense was always going to be, way better than other people were trying to imagine it was going to be. But the reality is like now we are just now we're doing too much. Now we're doing too much. Now you're saying that now with this new defense, you can't run on this Dallas Cowboys defense. They played the Raiders, who have no run game whatsoever. And they played the Eagles, who don't have a run game either. And Colin literally made fun of Micah for bragging about holding the Eagles' run game. He literally bragged about it, and Micah was bragging about it, and Colin ripped him and said that the Philadelphia Eagles can't run on anyone. And now he's like, oh, they can't, you can't run on this team. And it's like against the Raiders and against the Eagles right now. Like, huh? Like that's not the story either here. So it's just, I don't know. This was an awesome game, honestly. This was an awesome win for the Dallas Cowboys. This was, I was thinking about this earlier today, this morning actually, and I'm excited to do my quarterback mountain today, where I'm gonna post it tomorrow, but I'm gonna make it tonight. I was thinking about how we've had so many games um, that were supposed to really be special, or we were supposed to see this awesome quarterback duel, and a lot of them we kind of got robbed from Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen or Mahomes didn't really answer the call in that game. Sam Darnold and Matthew Stafford, that game didn't quite live up to it either in terms of the quality of quarterback play. We didn't really see a whole lot. Then the new quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. It's like that we didn't necessarily see two high quality quarterbacks go toe to toe against each other. And ironically, like one of the best quarterback duels we got were Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers, right? That kind of seemingly was more of a flash in the pan. And then we got Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott, and then this was Sunday that felt like Sunday Night Football, but it was like Sunday Night Football, in Texas. This huge division rivalry, and they answered the call, right? Like it was awesome, high quality quarterback play. Both quarterbacks putting their teams on their back, making big time throws, making big time runs, making big time plays, and they answered the call, and it was awesome. It was just great high quality football. And I think, to me, like that's more of the story to me than anything else. I know Dallas Cowboys fans are feeling really good and really confident, but it's just like, and they should, it's not like they shouldn't be. I think especially during this season when it seems like anything is possible. But I still think that you just have to kind of keep things in perspective. This was a tough, gritty divisional win, and you just like, it's the same thing with the Chiefs losing to the Broncos on the road divisional game, and you're just like, yeah, like those things happen all the time. It's worse when the Chiefs hadn't been winning, but now they beat the Colts, right? Like after that game, Colin was like, Chiefs are in trouble. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. Then they beat the Colts, and Collins on his podcast is like, the Chiefs are going to win I got them making the playoffs and winning playoff games. And it's just like, well, wait a second, like because they lost a close divisional game and meant that they were out, and now they win against the Indianapolis Colts. It's like, boom, they're back now. It just, you can't keep swinging that from those extremes. And that's why I said going into this game, what tells me the most about the Dallas Cowboys is not how they play the Philadelphia Eagles, it's how they play the Kansas City Chiefs. And I stand by that completely. If Dallas Cowboys beat the Kansas City Chiefs, it's like that means so much more to me. So much more to me. I said that the Dallas Cowboys could dominate the Philadelphia Eagles 35-7, and it would tell me nothing. It really would, because it's just like, that's the way these games go, that it's so unpredictable between the Cowboys and the Eagles. This game was unpredictable, going up 21. Going down 21-0 and then, storming back, right? So that just is what it is. It's going to be fascinating against the Kansas City Chiefs. That is what I'm excited to see. And that game should be a winnable game. We saw what the Colts did. And quite frankly, the Colts should have won that game. I think the Colts absolutely should have won that game. That was more about the Colts losing than the Chiefs winning. But the reality is that the Colts couldn't make plays down the stretch. They could not make plays down the stretch, whether it be the fourth quarter or overtime. They just could not get it done. And it's just like, if you're the Dallas Cowboys, you're like, well, that is, Dak is supposed to be that guy. He's supposed to be able to get it done. This offense is supposed to be legit. This offense is supposed to be incredibly high quality. And then you'll see what the defense does. What's interesting is that the Chiefs don't run the ball very well. And Colin's now saying that run game isn't, or that the run defense is great. And so it's like, all right, let's see how much you swallow that up. Although Kareem Hunt was able to get going against the Colts. So, and then it's short rest. It's a big emotional game for the Chiefs. I don't really buy too much into that, but I'm sure that's what people will argue. And then now it's short rest. It's already in a few days. The game's on in a few days. And so, bing, bang, boom, get after it. So that's the game for me to look at. They win that game. Now you can start to really feel good about this Cowboys team. And to me, that game, I'm trying to think right now, if I believe what I'm about to say, if the Cowboys win that game, it'll be so much more about the quality of play from the Cowboys than the lack of greatness of the Chiefs. I think if the Cowboys win, it will show you that the Chiefs truly are no longer that team where it's just like, well, no, man, we just win whenever we want. But I still do think that it would be more about like, hey, the Cowboys have reached a different level of quality of play, that even when they go up against a buttoned-up team, an extremely well-coached team with great players, that like we can still hang, because the Cowboys have always won easier games, divisional games, and then it's always against the higher quality opponents. It's that they can't quite put it together. And although I know the Chiefs aren't necessarily seen as this universal high-quality opponent, I still stand by them being incredibly difficult to beat, as the Indianapolis Colts proved to continue to be the case. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys? Will the revamped Dallas make the playoffs? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much.